Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and Merry Christmas. I'm Megyn Kelly. We have an unbelievable show for you today, a great show, a heartwarming show. Christmas morning means spending time with family and celebrating the holiday season. And for many, it also means being hopeful, loving, and thoughtful in prayer. We thought this would be the perfect time to gather a few faith leaders together from the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish worlds to discuss religion as a whole, connection, forgiveness, and finding peace. Reverend Jacqui Lewis is with us. She's a senior minister at Middle Collegiate Church here in New York City. Rabbi Melissa Buyer-Whitman is with the Temple Israel of the city of New York. Sahar Alsahlani is a Muslim community leader and interfaith peace activist. And Father Edward Beck is a Roman Catholic priest, commentator, and author. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's so exciting. All right, so I'm really looking forward to this discussion because I feel like this is the time of year people reconnect with faith. People who have been feeling separated from it for a while. And I want to ask, first of all, how important do you think that is, the reconnection with faith? What role, to those who are thinking about it, toying with it, what role do you think faith can play in one's life? I'll start with you, Reverend.
Sure. Thank you, Megyn. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I think the reason we have these annual holidays and these rituals is because we're on a journey of rediscovery. And so having a chance to reconnect takes us into the stories that shape these faiths. In this particular story, I mean, everybody loves babies. This story is all about the baby. All about the baby. This baby who is born to Mary and Joseph, this baby who is from a mixed race heritage, you know? His background is Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Leah, Rachel, Moses, and Zipporah. So he's Egyptian and he's Jewish. So he's a multiracial baby. You have a multiracial poor baby, homeless parents, born in a manger. And don't let Hallmark fool us. The manger is like a barn, and it's not, doesn't smell good, right? So, but right there, the kind of imagination of what can happen with this one poor child that causes us then to think about how we're responsible to raise the children of the globe. So reconnecting with our faith gives us a sense of purpose and hope.
Yeah, purpose and hope.
Yeah.
You know, Father Beck, it's a time when you think about how you were raised and the times with your family and what that sense of community meant to you. And you went to church, you know, for me, every Sunday, maybe not so much as an adult. And Christmas is an inspiration to reconnect with my fellow human beings. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way.
It really is, because what's happening in the culture, we start to think, well, maybe we're missing something. Maybe we are missing the religious dimension. Nothing angers me more than hearing someone goes to Mass on Christmas and they get yelled at because they're not there the rest of the year.
Right. Guilt.
Right? I mean,
I thought that was part of it. Catholicism is guilt.
It's not. It's
You
not
can
supposed
relate,
to be.
Rabbi.
That's true, but we try not to do that. We try not to.
I mean, the point is, it's an opportunity. People are here. They're hungering for something, even if they were dragged by their grandmother, whatever reason. So you use it as an opportunity to say, well, what are you missing the rest of the year? What is it that's special about what happens here? I think you use it as a moment to try to fill that void. It's obvious that the cultural messages of power, prestige, possessions, that's not doing it for people. And so what is faith offering that maybe in your life it can touch?
Rabbi Buyer-Whitman, first of all, I love that in the Jewish religion you can forgive an entire year of sinning in one day. Okay. Yom Kippur is, they're really onto something. We have to talk, Father.
All right.
Every Sunday?
I'll put a stole on though, okay?
But I do think, you know, between Hanukkah and Christmas and just this season, people of all faiths are looking, I think people are a little kinder to one another. And they have a private resolution maybe to do a little better, to be more charitable, to be more forgiving. What do you think?
Absolutely. It's interesting that we take the darkest part of the year and we bring light into this moment. So we light up the Hanukkah and we proclaim that there was a miracle. The true miracle is keeping engaged. That fight was about fighting for religious freedom, fighting for the ability to practice your own faith, perhaps in a world where there are many different faiths. And I think people really want to connect with that message, but more than that, they want to have meaningful time with their family and they want to be engaged in a way that they know is going to improve the world. So we look for ways to say, there are so many distractions. There are so many distractions. They're in our hands all the time. And so how do we remove the distraction and find ways to meaningfully engage? For us, it's all about social action, giving back, creating a better world, healing with our hands and our hearts and our minds.
Kindness and giving creates happiness. We've had so many people on to talk about that, about how if you're feeling lost or listless or not feeling connected, do something for someone else, even if it's a small gesture. And even selfishly, it'll make you feel better. Not only will it help, it'll make you feel better. You know, I know, Sahar, that so many people look at our country these days and they feel like we're divided, different religions, you know, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Catholic, a Christian, a Jewish person, that they feel divided. But I know you say that there's one thing that unites us all, and that's, for most of us, belief in the big guy, right?
Yes, yes, and it's so interesting, especially about the Christmas story. It is a very, very interfaith story. And as a Muslim, the only female that is mentioned by name in the Quran is Mary. And we do have a chapter dedicated to Mary. And the story of the virgin birth is so precious to the Muslims, and we do believe in the coming of Jesus at the end of time. So the story resonates so much with Islamic society, the fact that he was born a person of color to a mother that was not wed, to an oppressed society in an oppressed time. And he was a carpenter. He was a regular prophet, a regular person, though, that was relatable, that stood up to an oppressor, that didn't have a lot of money and surrounded himself by different people and stood up to a ruler. And that resonates. He was Jewish. So we always say that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, was a Jew that became a Muslim prophet that started a movement called Christianity. You know, and even this holiday, I mean, the Christmas tree is a pagan, symbol. So this precious time really brings a lot of faiths back to why this particular prophet was sent and what his message was. He was really the least person people would expect to follow, but his message resonates.
And you know, when the universality of this faith was brought home to me, it was this month with Pope Francis. He went to Myanmar and Bangladesh, and there are small Christian communities there, like 1% and 0.2%. And yet all of the attention was on the Muslim refugees, the Rohingya, and that's who he extended himself to. It's like, it's a message for everyone. Pope Francis in Bangladesh said, the presence of God's name is Rohingya. So for the Catholic Pope to say that the face of God is this refugee Muslim community, I mean, that's the Christmas message. He gave his Christmas homily way earlier than last night.
No, it's a message that we can all remember. And there's so much that can divide us, our politics, what have you. But our faith, our common bond as human beings, faith in God, faith in each other, faith in community, the gathering at your place of worship, which can really make you feel like you are not alone in a world that can be so divisive, is renewing. Give you the last word.
And that message that's out in the streets. It's not only in our congregations, but out on the streets with Sikh activists working for justice, with Protestant leaders working for healthcare, with somebody like Reverend Barber working to make sure the Poor People's Campaign comes back. So it's inside our worship houses and then sort of worship in the streets when we stand up for each other and stand up for justice. And that movement is Christian and Muslim and Jewish and Buddhist and Baha'i. It's human.
Much love to all of you. Much love.
Thank you, Megyn.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.